What's going on, Pathways Church? I'm Jake Collins, your middle school pastor, and it's a privilege to join you this week on Daily Dose. All this week, we're exploring the early chapters of Ecclesiastes. In this book, the teacher stresses to us that many things that we find value and priority in are actually meaningless. If anything, they are like smoke, here for a short time and then gone. The challenge to all of us is to look at these things with a healthy perspective while keeping in mind what is eternal: God, His Word, and His purpose. Now, what comes to mind when you hear the word work? This probably depends on your family, your upbringing, and your current career path. Maybe you come from a blue-collar background where hard physical labor is the name of the game. Or maybe you think of an office or cubicle where part of the goal is to climb the ladder. These days, many people have jobs that are more flexible or project-based. You might be someone who works from home and maybe even makes your own schedule. In our culture, work can become almost synonymous with who we are. Think about it. What's the first question that we ask people after their name? It's probably either, where are you from, or what do you do for a living? Today, let's look at Ecclesiastes 2:24 through 26. Here the teacher says, a person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own toil. This too I see is from the hand of God, for without him, who can eat or find enjoyment? To the person who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness, but to the sinner, he gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth to hand over to the person who pleases God. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Let's break this down really quickly. First of all, we see that it's okay to enjoy the results of your work. But once again, the teacher challenges us all to keep perspective. God is the one who makes enjoyment possible. How are we reflecting him through our work? Are we grateful, compassionate, and generous? Verse 26 reminds us that our goal is not to attain personal success, but to ultimately please and honor God. Finally, we see what happens if we gain wealth without pleasing God. It effectively passes through our hands. It may seem to be a source of joy, but that joy is ultimately fleeting. Maybe you're watching this before you started your workday. My challenge would be to give your best. I believe very strongly that doing so honors God. It also represents him in your workplace. But keep perspective. We can build a great resume, but our ultimate goal is to build the kingdom. That's all for today. Join me back here tomorrow on Daily Dose.